Do you even know what it takes to become a dollar millionaire? Somebody like me, I may never touch $1 million in my life. Because it's a lot of money. A lot of money. No matter how some of these greedy thieves want to make you see money, $1 million is a lot of money. Not talk of 10. And talk of 100. And then talk of $1 billion. Like they just move the money here and there like it is nothing. How much did they steal? They stole $100 million. Yeye Bello's money, the total money Yeye Bello is got to have stolen from Kogi State is $102 million. That's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But in Nigeria, they've kind of like normalized it. You get it now? They've normalized it in a way. Neyo, you're not serious. Even if I die today, my life insurance is not up to £300,000. So if you change that one to dollars, my life insurance is not even up to $400,000. That is if I die. I have to die before my children can touch that kind of money. Yeah. So if I have $1 million right now, hey, oh boy. See, okay. Please don't put that in my head because I'm not even planning to have $1 million. Because Baba, get here, Neyo, 1 million. Now person we know they work. A born criminal. We never see $10,000. So we look at it. My friend, $1 million is not much, Joe. It's only $1 million. My people were just $1 million. That's the typical Nigerian. I don't know if you have come across them. Person will never see 10,000 cash in his life. We tell you that you just say, how much is $1 million? $1 million is nothing now. Look at this Maiyegun. How much is $1 million? $1 million. You are just now $1 million. You can't make look like saying money. That one money. Say, Ebuka. Oh, they calm down. $1 million. But you see, if you are from Nigeria, you don't even have to see it because you get to see all the criminals, right? And you are hearing the ridiculous money they are stealing. And somehow, there are Nigerians who are always like, you can just be governor. If I am just, I'm just governor for just 1 month, just receive allocation like that. I'll come, I put the change. They just change them to just send him. Typically, because they can only imagine what it takes for people to steal $1 million and be able to sleep. If I have $1 million right now, I don't know. Even though there is this saying in Yoruba, right? They said that if you don't have money, right, you would be kind of like imbibing or, imbibing other people's behavior, sort of like that. It is when you now have money that your real attitude will come out, so to say. But listen, $1 million is a lot of money. So if I have it, number one, I don't know if I'll be sleeping. Get what I mean now? £1 million. Make it pounds. I have £1 million in their bank here. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be sleeping. Because something will be telling me that what if you wake up tomorrow and your £1 million is now £1? I don't know. Maybe that's why, because to have 1 million, like you have to build it. So when you build fortune over time and you get to that 1 million, it's just going to feel like the first time you made your first 1,000 too. As a motivational speaker, they deceive all of us. So that's what they told me. motivational speakers. Listen. Let me tell you, money is pretty much like just number. Let me tell you something. The way you make money and the way and manner you manage money. So you build your wealth, you accumulate your wealth. So the first time you get your 100,000 and then you get to your 1 million. So when you get to your 1 million pounds, it's just going to be like the first 1,000 pounds you made. You're right. 1 million, look with them. Have you actually worked in your life enough to understand what it is? So I don't know how I'm going to be like, but I promise you, I would likely not be sleeping well. Yeah, I'm a Jebu man, so my money can be in somebody's hands, right? And it's kind of complicated, sure you get. And I'm just being honest. I can't tell you how I'm going to probably behave or how is it going to be like. But yeah, 1 million. Now imagine somebody who supervised the stealing of over 3 billion, because you can't spend 3 billion on something and 2 months after you claim that that thing has been fixed, they shut it down again. For what? For maintenance. They've shut that refineries. They've shut them down again. I don't even understand. It's like they've shut them down since March or so. You announced that refinery will work in April. You can't do the whole paparazzi, the whole everything. And then you shut it down the week after. Which kind of thing be that? Like $3.5 billion? That's a lot of money. It's only in Nigeria that they make it look like how much is that? Do you know how much the accountant general of the country stole? 180 billion naira. Are you normal? Oh, my tongue pen 3 okay. See, $1 billion is 1.6 trillion naira. Are you with me? 1.6 trillion naira. Now multiply that by 3. So what are you going to get? 4.8 trillion naira. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. This is the kind of money that when people start breaking them down, they say it will take you 600 years, 800 years if you are spending a certain amount of money every day to finish that money, plus inflation, everything. No, it will take you 600 years to finish the money. What kind of greed is that? But they've released him on bail, They've released him on bail. Another one is this guy. Remember that Kuje prison break? Kuje prison break. They said this guy was responsible. So that's a good news though, because just yesterday I was it yesterday I was asking that have you ever seen any terrorists being sentenced in Nigeria, right? Well, they've sentenced this one to 15 years in prison. An appeal court in Abuja announced that, a federal high court in Abuja announced the sentencing today. 15 years for prison break. Remember the Fulani terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists that escaped from Kuje prison? Remember? They said the guy was the one who masterminded it. So he got caught and they've now jailed him. Like Abiru Shokoto. Look at this man. This guy is the governor of Kebbi State. Just in case if you probably don't even know who's their governor there. Now, this guy, as Kebbi governor, ordered the arrest of a journalist that decided to expose the state of the general hospital in one of the communities in the state, rather than for the government to respond and probably promptly to go on and rescue these people from that flooded hospital. They arrested the journalist, and that became a part of talk on this their morning show on Arise this morning. It's shocking, right?
Well, let's take this story now from Kebbi State. It's an update to a story we brought to you yesterday. In a new report from activist and journalist Dan Bello, the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Nasiru Idris, is being accused of arresting a journalist, Hassan Maiyegun General, who was reported to have made the shocking video showing an elderly man laying on a bed frame without a mattress in a desolate room while receiving treatment at the Kangiwa General Hospital in the state. Well, according to Dan Bello, the journalist had to run from his home due to threats, but is now in police detention. Users on social media have condemned the journalist's detention and are now demanding his immediate release. I mean, I cannot believe this story. Rufai, we took this story yesterday and we were calling for a response. But that dilapidated hospital and why they are subjecting our Nigerians to this sort of hardship. And we're hearing that this man who made the video has been arrested, Rufai.
They will not respond to you or G because there's no leadership accountability. We are running a demonstration of grace. So when citizen journalism comes into place and reveals such a thing like this, that the governor ought to do something about, they will go and follow the messenger and arrest the messenger and use the same police that are suffering the same scourge of this country to arrest. That's why sometimes I believe in should arrest protest too, because the man, he speaks a lot of facts. That's the exact country we live in. So when you now ask the police, on what did they arrest now? They will say cybercrime charges.
What?
That's why it's...
He didn't say anything.
No, but they will tell you cybercrime charges. They will say
he just showed the
they
video.
will say it's leaking state secrets. In fact, they will quote one act in a draconian military law and put the law there. Because you see, law in this country, they use it to victimize people. It's only in this country that law and courts does not catch rich and elite people. It's only the poor man. Please release that man. Oh.
Yes.
Release that man. We beg you, whoever you are as governor, and quickly attend to this. Because if we look at your state budget now, you will have budget for healthcare. But you can see people, the man is sleeping on bare metal. And that's the country we live. They will say cybercrime. They will fight charges again. You know the next thing they will do now? If we talk too much, the next thing they will do, you could go and put charges and rush him to court.
No.
And tell the judges to hurt him. You see, that's why, plus judiciary, plus all the systems of government, plus the... It's a joke we run in this country. And you know what pains me the most?
Yeah.
The same people that call the military bad, that they said they fought against the military, they are the ones in power today. They are doing way worse than what the military did.
The governor was quite active with the teachers' union.
You see life? You see life?
Actually,
They are doing way. You see life? They are doing way worse than what the military is.
So I haven't seen him in the news lately, and I can't imagine that this is what is bringing him in the news.
In fact,
but we need a response.
In fact, during the military, we had activist judges. People still believe in the judiciary.
Yes.
But today, the same people that the activist judges favor them, we scrutinize and want.
All right.
The time is going.
I'm looking for the journalist. His name is Hassan. We need a report from the Kebbi State Government House, the spokesperson for the governor, because this is what Dan Bello, Hassan Kangiwa. We're demanding a report from the Kebbi State.
Mr. Dangiwa. There's no report that he's been released anyway, but that is the state of, the kind of a country that they want you to keep quiet. The world is watching. Like, this is no longer 60s, 70s, or 80s, not even 90s, right? The world is watching. Like, you can use your propaganda as much as you want, but the reality can't always be denied. You get what I mean? And eventually, of course, it will all pile up, right? You hear that of Natasha too. Yeah, Natasha Puti. It is obvious. I said something about that yesterday as well, right? When she wrote to the clerk of the house to say, well, I'm resuming. My suspension is over. It ended on the 4th of September. So just to officially notify you, the clerk wrote back and said, it's been ordered not to let her return. Now, impunity, disobedience to their own court. There is no other thing that breaks a country than that. People are watching. They are seeing it. They are documenting it. And guess what? It keeps talking in their memory. And as much as a lot of people want to pretend to be suffering from selective amnesia, right? Stockholm syndrome, so to say, there is always something that is going to happen that will trigger the memory back. And then you'll be wondering and say, how come they are this angry? How come they are this raging? It is because they all have what is called the bottled anger, as they are not really free to express themselves as it should be in a supposed democracy, as it should be. Here is one journalist and a guest talking about the same issue from their own perspectives, right?
I'll begin from your last statement that the constituents, that is the Kogi Central Senatorial Central District, are robbed off of representation. And in fact, if you look at all the actors and actions in this saga so far, what is clear is that the Constitution, being the supreme document in the land, as provided for obviously by Section 1 in the Constitution itself, has been so sidelined and in the interpretation of what position should prevail. The fact that a senatorial district is going to lose representation for that long is supposed to be the fundamental issue that all parties, including the National Assembly, the senator herself, ourselves, the public, and also the judiciary itself, to see that all decisions and all actions, and this is what the law provides for anyway, all decisions or all actions are subject to the Constitution. So it is the constitutional provision that should prevail, or the democratic provision that should prevail. If you look at Section 13 of the Constitution, it is clear that all institutions, the State House of Assembly, the National Assembly, the judiciary itself, the executive, are supposed to give life to the Constitution, are supposed to uphold the Constitution. So what is happening so far in terms of the lack of representation of the Kogi constituents is by far the most damning aspect of this case. Now, back to the more specific questions you asked. It is very important to contextualize the power of the clerk of the National Assembly, or rather the clerk of the Senate. If you look at the standing order of the Senate that was amended in 2023, it is clear that his role is limited to taking records, communicating orders, minutes, votes, and proceedings. So for the clerk to come out and claim that he was informed without any attachment of a vote or proceedings by either the Senate leadership or the Senate as a house is already legally defective. So the letter as it is unfortunately incomplete, because it does not communicate its authority, and the clerk does not have the authority to take that position. It is also interesting to note that the clerk is also a party in the case anyway. So there need to be a vote or proceedings, and this is what the court has held. It says that it is the minutes and the votes and the proceedings of the legislature that they are going to use in examining whether the exercise of their power has been in line with the Constitution. What people really miss is that the legislature, as an independent arm, has powers to make laws and also to oversee the judiciary and the executive. But in the exercise of that power, by Section 4, subsection 8, they are subject to the courts. So they don't have the parliamentary absolutism that the Senate has been parading all this while. Yes, it is an independent arm, but in the exercise of its power itself, it has to be within constitutional parameters. So even when it comes to their standing orders by Section 60, the Senate cannot go ahead and make a standing order that seeks to undermine the court or undermines the Constitution, as much as it has the power and the right to make its standing orders. Okay. So far, if you look at what has happened, the suspension ab initio is unconstitutional. It's not just unconstitutional. The reality is even the standing order only provides for a maximum of 14 days.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So there's no justification whatsoever for a resumption to be denied.
Talking about law in a lawless country seems to be like a joke. I mean, I remember back under Boko Haram, we used to ask that, why are you studying law in a lawless place when your court has been so compromised that they are just an extended branch of the executive? Like, what is that thing that is motivating you to want to be a lawyer in a lawless place? But they say, well, it is still a necessity. People still need a lawyer like they need the doctors. Okay. Good luck with that. So there's a report that as the students in Nigeria resumes this week, because of this state of the economy of the country, many children won't be resuming schools as their parents won't be able to afford it. I don't know if the student loan covers secondary. No, it doesn't. I wanted to say if the student loan covers primary and secondary, but they will likely tell you that primary school and secondary school education is free. It is